Zeus, do you want to come here? You want to come here? Yes, step up. Guys, I have done so much on this van build. Like, there's the cage right there. Zeus is laughing. Those are the upper cabinets. I have the charging station up here. Hey, Zeus. I have this little seed tray. He's loving his cage. More upper cabinetry, and I redid the side panels. And I have this thing that connects to 4 cameras on the outside of my van. I also got this little thermometer so I can make sure the temperature is good and safe for Zeus. Good bird. Okay, I thought I would just film a Q&A this week because honestly, I've been pretty busy with van projects. I have a bunch of footage from everything I've done. I just don't really have the time to edit it, and I'm just gonna put this video out pretty raw and unedited. Also, I feel like I haven't sat down and chatted with you guys for a while, so I pulled questions from both my Instagram and YouTube, and I'll just get right into it. Okay, Nate Star said, how excited are you that Zeus will be accompanying you in your upcoming adventures? I'm so excited. Zeus and I have been working on flight training so that he can fly to me on command just in case he were to fly off or anything. We've been working on getting him in the harness and getting him comfortable in the carrier and just different things like that. I really also want to poop train him so he knows to poop in his cage because, I don't know, I just don't want to be cleaning up a bunch of poop out in the van. Or Agnes Ciza K.A. Gorsk said, did you experience any hostile behavior towards you as a van lifer? No, I can't say I personally have, but I have heard stories of people like coming up to van lifers and just kind of yelling at them and being like, you don't contribute to society. One of my friends had this old lady come up and just kind of like yell at her, and then later, and she was like, I do, like I work locally at this surf shop. She was like, you don't have a job, blah blah, and she was like, I do have a job, I work at this surf shop. But for me personally, I haven't experienced anything but kindness. Well, I mean, yeah. Emma Lee What said, what's your self-care routine on the road when things are more inconsistent? I try to consistently meditate, and that I try to make that my grounding self-care routine, and also journaling. Those are like 2 things that I try to keep pretty consistent. I would say meditation is less consistent than journaling for me because I just naturally love journaling and writing, whereas with meditation I have to kind of remind myself, okay, this is good for me, like do it. But those are 2 things I really try to do every single day. Olivia Schultz said, how much did your van build cost? So my actual van, it's a 2017 Ford Transit, and I got it used because it was 2017. I bought it about 2 years ago, maybe 2.5 years ago, and I bought it for $26,000. The build itself was $10,000, and I did get a loan from my family, my parents, and I paid it off within the first year. But I'm really, really grateful that they gave me that loan so I could be set up in a van that was reliable and a van build that kind of had a lot of those luxuries really that I felt like would make life a lot easier and more sustainable, and for it to be more able to be long term. So I know not everyone has a family that is willing to give them a loan, so I feel really grateful for that. Grecia GC says, if you have kids, will you introduce a vegan diet or will you let them choose? My kids will definitely be brought up vegan 100%. Hopefully I will also have a partner who's vegan. That's what I envision, and yeah, so I don't think things will be too difficult in that way. The American Dietetics Association says that a properly planned vegan diet is adequate for all stages of life nutritionally. So that's infancy, that's pregnancy. So yeah, I plan on being pregnant and vegan. I plan on my babies being vegan and my children being vegan, because for me, being vegan is for the animals. It's a moral philosophy. I don't believe that we should treat a pig any different than a dog, and I think to bring up children with this perception that we can kill pigs and we can put our forks into pigs, but we should love and care for dogs is quite confusing. And I think all discrimination is bad. Discrimination between species, discrimination based on race, obviously, discrimination based on gender or sexuality. And so I want to teach my kids all those lessons, not only verbally, but I also want them to live by that. And I just want to bring them up with role models, me and a partner, hopefully, that can lead by example, but also put a lifestyle in their lives where I think it's the most compassionate and kind lifestyle. With that being said, I have thought about, oh, what if I have vegan kids and they get older and they want to try meat on their own or animal products on their own? And that would honestly make me a little sad, but I also made a lot of mistakes when I was a kid, and I think it was really important for me to make those mistakes and learn those things on my own. So obviously, when my kid grows up in a world that isn't vegan, maybe at the time, I don't know how the world's gonna go. You know, I doubt it's gonna be vegan when I have kids. So if they're still in this world that is predominantly carnivore and eating animals, then maybe they will at some point want to try eating animal products. I will never support it monetarily, so I would never pay for them to try it. But if they had their job and tried it alone, I think like they need to have their own journey with that and come to their own conclusions. But I am going to bring them up vegan, or at least that's my plans right now. You know, I don't know, I don't have kids, so that's super in the future. Willow Creek Farmery said, what is your favorite place to travel to? If so, where? I love traveling internationally. I love nature. I love Yosemite and Moab. Those are two of my favorite nature spots in the United States. But I think if I were to choose my favorite, it would be international. Maybe Europe or China or Indonesia. I just love experiencing a different culture. I feel like I learn so much. I feel like it opens my mind to different ways of life. Carmi C. Moon said, do you think you will ever sell your van and stay in one place? If so, where? I have no clue. That is like so far in the future, I think. I sometimes really feel like I need stability and I'm like, oh, I just want to live one place. But ultimately, I am a nomad at heart, and staying in one spot for over a few months, like even now visiting my parents, I'm like ready to go and ready to see more places. And I find that that's a pattern in my life. Like I've always just yearned for travel and to see new things. And so I think that's far into the future, but I do think the place I'm going to settle down, I envision it being filled with a lot of nature and a good rock climbing community, and like not a massive city, I don't think anyways, but definitely access to nature, somewhere where I feel like I can develop, I don't know, yeah. I honestly don't know. That's so far into the future, so I can't even, that's just my thoughts right now. But Lila Tiuk, I don't know, Lila Tiuk said, how did you get courage to finally start your channel? Oh, Zeus, you're out of the frame. I want to include you. How I got courage to finally start my channel is I honestly just did it. I just did it with the expectations that no one was gonna see my videos, and that was honestly the case for like a year, or I don't know. I just made videos for myself, and a lot of these videos are now private, but this is something I've always done. Like when I was a kid, even before YouTube was a thing, I was making videos, and my dad has some of them and they're really embarrassing, but maybe I'll show some of them. I think like reading certain books really allowed me to realize that the biggest thing prohibiting me from my dreams was fear. And two big books that stick out to me that kind of crashed that barrier and made me realize I should just go all in and pursue my dreams, and that I could make it happen if I just tried hard enough. And that for me in my life, I knew that fear was the biggest thing holding me back, were the book The Alchemist by Paulo Coelho and Braving the Wilderness, I think, by Brené Brown. I think just overcoming that fear was the biggest part of having the courage to kind of begin this journey. And now I feel like I still have fear because more and more people are tuning in, and I'm realizing I'm not just making videos for myself anymore, but honestly, I feel really good about it. I feel like we built a family on here, and that feels really good. So I feel really happy about it, huh? Lily Ongiko said, I'm wondering what you do for a consistent income. How long did you save up to be able to buy your van and renovate it? Sending love and light. She also said she's hoping to save up for her own van, so good luck, Lily. I don't really have a consistent income. I have a little more of a consistent income now that I've started making money off YouTube videos, but initially I had $10,000 of savings when I hit the road. I sold a few paintings the first few months while I was on the road. Then I found a farm where I started to work intermittently, and I made really good money there, and then I'd use that money to travel a few more states, go back, work for a couple months, travel a few more states, and that really worked out. So that was an inconsistent stream of income, but set me up. Like, that's how I funded my trip to Indonesia and Thailand, and that's how I funded my trip through Oregon, Washington, and Idaho. So yeah, that is my inconsistent income. Now I'm making money off YouTube. I also just started a website, www.sarahyak.art, A-R-T, instead of .com, and it's a whole long story why this happened, and honestly was a source of frustration for a long time, because I made this entire website. I poured like literally so much time into it. I spent over a week every single day. It felt like it was all I was doing was working on this website. And then whenever I went to go buy a domain for it, I went to go get this domain that I had a couple years ago, www.sarahyak.com, and it turns out that it expired. Someone else bought it because they knew that I would probably want it back, and now they're trying to sell it to me. Oh, he's gonna poop. Ooh, he pooped on the floor. Okay, can we just process how well I know Zeus? I was like, I just knew he was gonna poop. Okay, so the domain name. I went to go find it and to buy it. Turns out someone had bought it from me, and they were trying to sell it back to me for $600 initially, and then $20 every year. When a domain of that name, like the couple years ago I bought it, it was like, I want to say it was like $10 max. And so that was really frustrating for me, and then I just was like, whatever, I'm just gonna buy sarahyak.art. So I'm trying to make the best of it. I'm trying to be positive, like, it's cool and it's unique, but I was really frustrated when I found out someone was trying to sell me my own domain for $600. But I honestly should have knew. I should have been more aware, because apparently it's like a whole thing. I don't know, it's like a whole market. They do this a lot. It's not rare. I don't know. So yeah, I kind of went on a tangent there. I will leave my website down below. I'm selling jewelry on it is kind of like what I was trying to get at, and then I got sidetracked with the domain stuff. But I am selling jewelry on it, and I'm gonna sell some of the healing crystals, like just the crystals I find and I dig myself that you guys see in my videos, on that site. So yeah, I'm really excited, so excited for that. I also have like a blog section where I've written some stories, and I worked on like a little vegan activist and infographic section. I have a place to donate if you guys want to donate. No need to though, honestly. Your support is like, I love doing this and I appreciate you guys' support on here. But yeah, I'm really excited about the website. And what else did she say? How long did you save up to be able to buy your van initially and renovate it? Like I said, I talked about the price in that last question, but in terms of how long it took to save up, I want to say it was like close to 2 years, and 1 year of the 2 years was like extreme grind, where all I did was work. I didn't hang out with friends. I never ate out. Like, I can remember one time where I ate out, and that's it. I was living at my parents' house, so I didn't have to spend money on rent, which made things easier, and I'm super, super grateful for. I worked at a therapy center in the mornings, and then after I got off that, I babysat a kid. After I babysat that kid, sometimes I would do overnight babysitting, where I'd basically just get paid to sleep at these children's house and take them to school in the morning, and then I would repeat. And oftentimes while I was babysitting, like if I put the kids to sleep or if they were doing homework, it depended on which kids, obviously. Like, I was totally present while they were like awake and playing with them and stuff. But if they had an early bedtime, or if they had time to do homework and didn't need help, then I would work on selling jewelry and paintings, and I had a website that I talked about at the time. So I just had all these different sources of income, and all I was doing was working. I kind of felt like a zombie at times, but it was so worth it, like to have a really nice van and have all of the amenities. I feel like just make it really luxurious and sustainable for me. With that being said, you can definitely do it cheaper. I have so many friends that have vans that are not as expensive and built out, and people just have different ways of making it work, and it's all what you want to do. Just because I did it this way doesn't mean that you have to like follow my exact path. Alia said, approximately how many hours and days does it take you to finish a painting of that size? And she's referring to the painting in my last video where I painted that big sunflower painting that I'm selling to my friend. I honestly do not know. I have no clue how long it takes me. I've never really like thought about it and sat down. I feel like I kind of lose time when I'm painting. I lose track of time. I kind of get into a flow state, but it would be really interesting to track my hours and track how much time I put into a painting. For that painting, I really have no clue how long it took me because it was an old painting and I'm just kind of finishing up on the detailing. So yeah, I'm sorry I can't add more clarity there. I do remember that when I was in art class in high school, I was a pretty quick painter. Like, I always finish projects pretty quickly compared to other people, but I have no clue how long it actually takes. Rebecca Lauren says, where is your toilet or shower, Sarah? So I have an outdoor shower. I wasn't able to use it for like the last few months I was on the road because I got rear-ended by a semi-truck, and that's where the shower comes from. Now I got my back doors fixed, so I do have access to that again, which I'm really excited for. I also have hot water this time around. I installed a hot water heater, so that's my shower system. I just have to open my back doors and the shower goes out that way. Toilet I do not have. My toilet's like outside. I don't know. When I'm in nature, I just have a really big shovel. I shovel 6 inches into the ground, go to the restroom, or if that's number 2. That's if it's number 2. I put my toilet paper, my biodegradable toilet paper in there, cover it up, and put a rock on top so that dogs don't dig into it, or wild animals or anything, and humans too. So that's in nature. I have a pee cup in the van that I just pee in for emergencies. I go to gas stations for restrooms. There have been a few times where I'm like, oh, I really wish I had a toilet in here. But overall, I don't really feel the need to like put a toilet in here because most of the time I'm just in nature and I can just go outside. I am D Ortiz said, what do you do with so much chicken? Because I just keep showing videos of these chickens that my parents have at this property. They eat the eggs from the chickens. So they also have ducks and they eat duck eggs and chicken eggs. My parents have killed chickens. I think within their first couple years, they slaughtered some of the chickens and they invited me to do that. And I was like, I do not support that because they're just so cute. And I don't know. Yeah. So that is kind of sad, but they haven't killed the chickens since then. I really hope they don't kill any more chickens after that or in the future. Yeah, that's the chicken situation. Yeah, the chickens, one of the batches of chickens, I don't know if batches is the right word, but it's definitely not the right word. He's even laughing. He's like, it's not batches. But there's like 2 different age groups of chickens that are separated, and one of the age groups recently had baby chicklings, so I've been going out like every single day. I've been bringing Zeus to see them and hang out with them and like watch their progress, and that's been so cute. They're just like growing so much every single day, and it's really cool to see them kind of like gain confidence in their flight because they kind of like flap and fly. Rachel Martin said, how did you guys get your bird to stay with you so good, even outdoors? Zeus has flown off a couple times actually, never with me, but with my family just growing up. We've had him for 10 years, so we've taken him outside. My mom's taken him to the grocery store several times, just like in her jacket, and he loves it. And we've just taken him outside on walks and different things. The only reason he will fly off is if he gets spooked and scared. If he sees something in the sky, like a hawk or a bird of prey, and gets scared, or if there's like a gust of wind or something that scares him. And so that's the only time he will fly off. Other than that, he naturally wants to stay with us, and I think he gets a little scared even when he does fly off because it's just an instinct, and then he doesn't know what to do. He's like stuck in a tree and he wants to come back to us, but he's not super comfortable flying because when we got him, his flight feathers were clipped. So he never kind of like had a practice with flying when he was a little baby bird. He is getting better at flying. As you saw, he just flew over there. And so yeah, he's gotten much better with it. But when I'm outside and he doesn't have the harness on, he only recently got this harness and I only recently got him to feel comfortable in it. What I'll do is, I mean, he's just super in tune with me and he knows that when I don't want him to leave. So Inside he'll fly freely, and like right now, but I'm trying to demonstrate it, but what are you doing? But what I'll do is I'll just put my finger over one of his feet, just gently, not hard or anything, but he knows that I don't want him to go. And he won't. He's never flown off with me. So yeah, and then if I notice him getting scared of something, like I'm very conscious, and he'll give me signs that he's scared and wants to fly off, and sometimes I'll just hold his back and bring him close and give him kisses and try to comfort him so that he doesn't fly off. So yeah, that's Zeus. He just keeps wanting to go down there. Okay, buddy. I just wanted to share this. This isn't even a comment, but Making Money said, "I love your puffy cheeks." Thank you. My cheeks are honestly puffy. I've always known that. I have like baby fat cheeks, so thank you. Okay. I lost this comment, but someone said something about retirement. They were like, "Are you planning for retirement? Like, you need a job and you need to plan for retirement," or something like that. I forgot who said it and what exactly it said. But I haven't planned for retirement. I don't have savings for it. I have savings in general. I would like to plan for retirement, and I'm planning to this year, like really kind of get a plan with that. I'm only 23. I don't know if that's like young or old, or if I've never met anyone my age who has like a super solid retirement plan, anybody in my immediate circle. But I'm sure people do. I just haven't done it yet, and I will. I also wanted to share this little story that kind of shifted my views on retirement, because I always viewed life in the way that my parents had taught me to view it, which is that you get a consistent office job for like X amount of years after you graduate college, and in between you're able to travel on holidays with the money you have saved from your office job, and then at a certain amount of time you've saved enough money with retirement money that you can kind of have freedom to travel and stuff. Whereas I feel like I'm navigating life in a little bit of a different way. Again, I don't want to like never plan for the future. I do intend to plan for the future and build a retirement plan. I do kind of view my life a little more as like intermittent retirements, where I work and then I travel, and I work and then I travel. And the reason why I'm kind of like refiguring in my mind the way I want to do life is because, one, I know it's possible. I've met a lot of people who've done that while traveling on the road and have had success with it and are happy, and it's just a different way of life. And also, I just don't want to wait until I retire to travel. I wanted to travel and make a way to make an income and have freedom with that career, to where I could kind of choose where I was going to be, how long I was going to work, and the impact that I was going to have like on the world. So I remember hearing this thing from a talk, like maybe it was a TED talk or something, from a monk, and he talked about when choosing a career, thinking of three things, like a triangle, and those three things are what you're naturally good at, which has always been art. I've always been naturally good at art and music and writing and artistic things like that. What the world needs, which I feel like is more mindfulness, and I feel like is more consciousness with the planet and with animals, and I don't know, like a more unifying approach and ways to communicate and be kind to others, and yeah, I don't know, different things like that. And then the third one is, what is it? What you can make money off of, maybe? Something like that. So it's like three things. And I remember like really kind of thinking about how I was going to make a career work within that sphere where it met all three of those things. Oh no, the third one is what you love doing. It's what you love doing, what you're naturally good at, and what the world needs. Anyways, I also wanted to share this story about a fisherman, and this story just kind of like made me rethink my views on retirement. So this is called the Mexican Fisherman Story. I just found it online. I don't know where I initially heard this, but an American investment banker was at a pier of a small coastal Mexican village when a small boat with just one fisherman docked. Inside the small boat were several large yellowfin tuna. The American complimented the Mexican on the quality of his fish and asked how long it took to catch them. The Mexican replied, "Only a little while." The American then asked why didn't he stay out longer and catch more fish. The Mexican said he had enough to support his family's immediate needs. The American then asked, "But what do you do with the rest of your time?" The Mexican fisherman said, "I sleep late, fish a little, play with my children, take siestas with my wife Maria, stroll into the village each evening where I sip wine and play guitar with my amigos. I have a full and busy life." The American scoffed, "Huh, I am a Harvard MBA and could help you. You should spend more time fishing and with the proceeds buy a bigger boat. With the proceeds from the bigger boat, you could buy several boats. Eventually, you would have a fleet of fishing boats. Instead of selling your catch to a middleman, you would sell directly to the processor, eventually opening your own cannery. You would control the product processing and distribution. You would need to leave the small coastal fishing village and move to Mexico City, then LA, and eventually New York City, where you will run your expanding enterprise." The Mexican fisherman asked, "But how long will all of this take?" To which the American replied, 15 to 20 years. "But then what?" asked the Mexican. The American laughed and said, "That's the best part. When the time is right, you would announce an IPO and sell your company's stock to the public and become very rich. You would make millions." "Millions? Then what?" The American said, "Then you would retire, move to a small coastal fishing village where you would sleep late, fish a little, play with your kids, take siestas with your wife, stroll to the village in the evenings where you could sip wine and play your guitar with your amigos." And yeah, I just loved that. And I know that it's kind of like fantasy and I don't know, like maybe not fully practical. Like, yes, I'm gonna like think logical about my retirement and my future, but I just want to be as present as I can and be as appreciative of the present moment and the now as possible. And yeah, I don't know, I just really liked that. Can you make a video about adjusting to driving the van? I'm not gonna make a video, I'm just gonna address it here. This comment is by Imani Hunter. I'm not gonna make a video because I honestly don't think I have enough information to fill a whole video. Because honestly, this van is just like driving a big truck. Like, I don't know if you've ever driven a F-150 or anything like that. It feels very similar. And yeah, I would say just take it slow, drive on familiar roads, drive in good weather, get used to it, but you will definitely get used to it. Oh, Sofix Sound said, "It's amazing that you're doing everything on your van on your own. Where did you learn all the stuff?" So I learned off YouTube before, like, I wanted to build a hangboard for rock climbing, and I just binge watched a bunch of different YouTube videos on how to build a hangboard. Also, while I'm here in Texas, my dad has all of the tools and he also has all of the knowledge, which is really helpful. So I can go on YouTube and like learn different things, and then he will also help me, but I don't show him all the time. I actually never show him because he doesn't like to be in videos. So that's the behind the scenes, is a lot of times he's helping me and I just don't show it because he doesn't want to be in the video. AMCC Lice says, how do you manage to balance your life in the wild, connect with nature and social media? I really love this comment. I don't feel like I always do the best job at balancing it. Actually, no, I feel like I do a pretty good job when I'm in nature because I'm forced to do a good job in a way. I'm oftentimes where there's not the best service, so that inherently restricts my access to social media, which I think is really beneficial for my mental health because I'll notice myself like impulsively opening my phone and trying to open Instagram or YouTube, and then it's not loading, and then I end up reading a book. And it not only makes me aware of my tics and my unconscious draw and addiction to social media, but it also prohibits me from doing it naturally at certain times. I also have locks on my phone where I can't use Instagram or YouTube or any social media for longer than an hour. Sorry, I keep looking up and like making sure he's doing good. And he's so cute and he's loving exploring. Adriana Alarcon says, what sets your soul on fire? Wow, I feel like there's really so much, and I feel really grateful that I've like found so many things that make me feel alive and make me feel present and make me feel like, I don't know, so amazing. One of them is going on long hikes, going to hot springs. Rock climbing is like one of the top ones, as well as painting. Painting's another top one. making videos, like, and films and editing them, and the whole process of filmmaking is up there as well. Connecting with people that are like-minded in nature, around a bonfire, at a hot springs, that just makes me feel so good. Digging for crystals, being in the sunshine, reading a good book, writing my thoughts down, and spending time with animals like Zeus and my dogs and the chickens and the ducks here at my parents' property. Yeah, a lot of things, and I feel really, really grateful. Oh, that's it. Oh wait, let's see. Yeah, that is it. Zeus, do you want to come down? Okay, he wants to chill up there, but thank you guys so much for watching this video. I'm sorry I didn't have like a better video kind of put together for today. I am feeling really busy. I don't know. I want to like prioritize making videos and feel super inspired again to kind of, I don't know, put together some cinematic stuff for you guys. So that's in my mind, that's in my heart. It's gonna happen. Until then, I hope you guys enjoyed this, and I feel like I was able to address a lot of questions that I get a lot, but I feel like some of them I haven't fully addressed on here. So I hope that helped anybody who was curious about van life, or just my life in general, or my thoughts, or anything. So yeah, have a beautiful day, have a beautiful week. I'm sending love and light to you all. Bye.